Всем привет! Меня зовут Wally и добро пожаловать на мой канал. Another day, another code of points. Today we are taking on the 1993 Code of Points head on, much like a car crash. And we're going to be looking at the floor exercise final at the 1996 Europeans in Birmingham, UK, in another edition in my Robbed Goddesses ? Series. So these championships were actually the first time in a long time, if ever, that a team competition was held at a Europeans. But what's interesting is there is very little known about the team competition other than the placements. The actual scores from the team competition mostly are unknown. It also served as the qualification for the event finals that we'll be talking about later. I just think it's very odd. My personal Bible, which is gym-forum.net, which I've relied on since I was literally, 15 years old, they have no scores for the team competition. I don't even know how many gymnasts competed on each team, actually. It's a bit of a mystery. So I just wanted to put that out there. A little bit of lore, as it were. These championships are probably most famous for turning into the last hurrah of Svetlana Beghinskaya, the legendary legend who came back after 2 years of retirement in a bid for her third Olympics, competing for an independent Belarus. She surprised many people by having possibly the meet of her lifetime and winning the silver medal in the all-around. I remember it being incredibly exciting and very unexpected, but at the same time, I wasn't really that surprised because I was a huge Beghinskaya fan and I knew you could never underestimate her because she can get the eye of the tiger. She is one fierce competitor. Also, the landscape was just so much different back then. It was very rare to see a gymnast competing in her early to mid-20s, as Beghinskaya was 23 in 1996. And thankfully, that has changed so much. Nowadays, a gymnast is pretty much able to compete as long as she wishes. You love to see it. I will always contend that there are a few gymnasts who, through no fault of their own, through either genetics or they could be prone to injury, but for those gymnasts, I don't think they have the option to compete as long as they want. And that's why I personally feel that age limits should not be raised any higher than they already are. I'm filming this as Russian nationals were going on, and to see what has happened to my girl, Vlada Urazova, is very depressing, honestly. And she is a gymnast who really peaked when she was 14 or 15. And if you go back and watch her then, it's like a completely different gymnast. She was doing incredible work. It's just sad that there's a chance she may have never seen an Olympics if the age limit was raised. Unfortunately for Sveta, she did not have as much success in the event finals in Brum as she would have liked. Despite qualifying for all 4 individual event finals, she did not medal on any of them. She finished 4th on vault, 6th on bars, 4th on beam, and 6th on floor. And in the floor final, a couple of costly low landings on a couple of punch fronts really hurt her score. Just as an aside, because I'm low-key the tangent king, although Beghinskaya's floor routines and her comeback I thought were completely adequate, in my opinion, they could not hold a candle to her tremendous floor work that she had in the prior quadrennium. However, there are a couple of glorious moments in her floor routine here that she did at Europeans. There is a section where she is just writhing frantically on the floor. It's so good. It's just camp. I love it. Also, in my video about the 97 World's Beam Final, we talked about how originality was no longer specifically mentioned or valued in that code. Sadly, the buck started here in 1993. With no mention of originality. You could really see that in this floor final when Rosalia Galieva did an incredible split leg double layout that we had only seen maybe from Tatiana Gutsu before, but she landed just a little bit short, and she wasn't given any kind of extra credit or bonus for performing that skill. She got hit up and then some. She only scored a 9.762 despite all of her other landings being spot on and doing this gorgeous flamenco piece with an exciting and dramatic ending. I love that routine. It ended up only being good enough for 5th place, which is a crying shame and possibly a robbery even. We'll get to the main robbery later, but this was kind of like the pre-game robbery. I don't know. As much fun as it would be to show the entire floor final, this video would be centuries long. I absolutely think a case could be made for Galieva to have finished on this podium. All was not lost for Rosa, as she did win the beam title here at European, so thank goodness for that at least. So we are going to look at the 4 top routines from the final and see what shakes loose. We'll see what conclusions we can discover together as one happy family. Because Euros were held in the UK, this is British commentary. I'm not sure if it's British Eurosport, and also there is no Monica Phelps. But we do have Mitch Fenner, may he rest in peace. And we're going to go in the order they competed for the top 4. First up in the final was Dina Anatolievna Kochekova. So I love as soon as the music starts, her eyes light up. Showtime. Double layout, big and beautiful.
Light and confident in performance.
Right back the other way to front layout, little crooked.
Twisting front, straight front.
I love the choreography in this routine. It feels like every movement has a purpose, and it's wonderfully in time with the music. A little bit of a smoke break there. Handspring, Rudy, back handspring. One of the required elements is you had to perform 2 tumbling passes, one with 2 saltos, and the second having a third different salto. So those 3 saltos had to be different. And here's her mixed series, round off, straddle jump into a back handspring.
Change your tempo and music. And she'll match that with speed of sunlight.
And dismount, pike full in.
Twisting double back.
Great landing.
Well, the audience loved this. She won the World Championship back in 1994.
I think a thing that hurts Dina is her personality is incredibly stoic. She's very serious. You'll notice that a lot of the gymnasts wave to the crowd. I don't think I ever saw her do that. I don't think I ever really even saw her smile or really let the audience know that she appreciated them. So it kind of makes them, not necessarily want to root for her or feel like they're invested in her, which is unfortunate because the quality of her gymnastics is quite good. And that routine easily, she fulfilled all the requirements. She got all her bonus. Easy to no start value.
Technical problem in the system,
and her score is a 9.8, which isn't a horrible score for the first gymnast step, but ideally, it's difficult to win with a 9.8. For me, this 100% would have been a 9.85. I thought it was brilliant. I loved it. Every moment. It really has everything that I want to see in a floor routine. A good combination of dance, acrobatics, expression, feeling. It's just a great floor routine. And all of her landings were spot on. There are deductions in the routine, obviously. But when you weigh everything together, because honestly, I don't even think the judges really pay attention to the deduction sheet in all reality, as we'll see here in a few minutes. So it's just vibes, really. And for me, the vibes say 985. Next up is Lilia Prokopyeva, the all-around champion here in Brum. She is going for gold medal number 3. Handsprings double front, but she was a little bit over, had to take an extra big step, and then she was a little bit low and short on that Rudy.
There's no question on whose side the audience is.
Love this. She does a layout front into a front full. Although landing is a bit out of control again. See, I love all these ballet type skills. It's obviously had a theme and they went for it. She's playing or portraying a ballerina. It's very adorable. And she just has glorious toe point as always. The little kick out to the side. She does a little bit better job hiding her smoke break than Kochikova. Full in. The only good landing of the exercise, really.
How severe will the judges be?
Well, they came up in her favour 24 hours ago. Some people were disappointed.
So I don't remember if they show the double front in the replay, but she had quite a significant cowboy on it. Also, she's capable of doing a double front half out, but she chose to not do it here. So that, for me, would take away some extra credit. The landing on her first 3 passes was not good. Those should be significant deductions of at least a 10th for each one, in my opinion. I probably would have that at 965 to 97, and she got a 9862, which means she actually received 2 9.9s. This is why I feel like the deduction sheet is optional. And I know when the WTC wrote the code of points, that was not how it was intended to be used. And that really pisses me off, honestly. Next up, we have the reigning Olympic floor champion, Lavinia Milosevic. And at 19 years of age, she was making a bid for her second Olympic team, opening with a beautiful double layout, good power. The music is Hooked on America, which is this hodgepodge collection of, I guess, American themes, including some Gershwin. Whip through the 2.5 twist punch front. A little bit crooked there, and she had to fight that landing a little bit. There's a cat leap double, a rare D dance skill. Low key, that was the highlight of the routine for me. I do love how easily she incorporated that double turn into the routine. She actually has good amplitude on all of her elements, but the choreography does nothing for me personally. Quite a bit of a smoke break. Full in. Very good landing on the full in. She landed with her chest all the way up. Not that that's something that they really paid attention to in 96, but it's still good to see.
Borrow the phrase, I think they might say, you ain't seen nothing yet. Straight to Atlanta then.
So I was looking at the Coda points, and the Catley double is named after somebody named Benton, or it was then. I don't think it is anymore, but I have no idea what gymnast was named Benton. It sounds like it was maybe somebody who was Canadian or something, I'm not sure. Sounds like a Canadian name, doesn't it?
Second tumble. Sorry, her final tumble.
But the choreography to me felt very immature, very juniorish, and not a lot of depth. But she gets a 9862, which ties her with Pokapayeva. And let's talk about that, right? So I would clearly have Milosevic ahead of Pokapayeva because she did not have the same landing deductions, but I would not have her as high as Kochetkova. So I would probably have Milo at 9.8. So Dina 9.85, Milo 9.8, Lilia at 9.7 or 9.65. And the last of the gymnasts that we're going to watch is Joana Juarez from Spain, which has a funky opening. And she's also going to mount with a double layout, although it's a bit piked down there on the second salto. Right the other way into handspring, front full, punch front. Now look at this eye contact. She's selling this. Good choreography. Good use of the music, as Christine said. Straddle jump back handspring into a stag ring. There's her gym macro. And then here's her triple turn. Good. Another D-dance element. Ooh, bit of a ragged form on the two whips double full, but she does get indirect connection bonus for that. Not the best extension on those jumps. But I think she's doing a pretty good job of selling this. Dismount, front, full to a pike front. Not the strongest dismount. In event finals, you were required to do a dismount with the D element, which the front full was a D in this code. So she does fulfill that.
Probably the best floor performance she's ever given.
So this is interesting.
She literally came to life on the floor.
Trying to evaluate it. I thought it was pretty solid.
Tumble, double straight. She just
also, you see a little bit of a leg separation on that double layout. There were definitely form deductions galore, I would say. But just thematically, I thought it was a better routine than Milosevic's. Ooh, it's so hard because that middle pass, I don't like to see a double full in a floor final in 1996, but I don't know. I'm Natalie Imbruglia. I'm really torn. I don't know. Just my personal preference. Like, I think the hindrances of her routine probably outweighed the things that I liked. So I probably would have this at a 9.75 behind Milosevic. I don't know, there's just something so textbook strong about Milosevic's tumbling and her dynamics and the way she performs the gymnastic elements. The Romanians typically have great amplitude, and I thought that Joana was missing that. You saw that series, that combination she did into a Shushanova, like, I mean, the form was a bit untidy. I can't really look past that. And her score comes up. It is a 9.8, which means she ties for third with Dina Kochetkova. I don't necessarily have an issue with her medaling, but I do have an issue with her scoring the same as Dina, which I felt was the best routine in the final. Certainly of the ones that we've seen and overall, because I did watch the entire final. I watched this about a month ago or so and thought we had another Rob Goddess on our hands. It turns out that I still have that opinion. Dina got the shaft yet again. So of these 4 routines that we watched, I would rank them first Kochetkova, second Milosevic, third Juarez, and fourth Podkopayeva. And I think that's pretty fair, honestly. So when we look at the final result, we see a rare 2-way tie for the gold between Podkopayeva and Milosevic, and then a 2-way tie for bronze between Kochetkova and Juarez. Definitely not the podium that I would have had. So I think this is a really interesting one. I am very curious to hear all of your guys' thoughts. Was Dina robbed for the second video of the series? Did you think that Lavinia and her routine that she was probably 7 to 10 years too old for was good enough for the gold? Do you forgive all of Podkopayeva's landings and think that she should have been on top? Or did Joanna just suffer from not having a strong enough federation behind her? Should she have won? Please sound off down below. I'm excited to see what you guys have to say. Please hit that thumbs up if you like this video. And I will catch all of you guys in my next one. Do skorovo. Take care. Bye, loves.